Bye, Electrician. Let's do it. Okay, Kirsha 2.0. Okay, Kirsha 2.0. I hear you. Everyone's yelling tonight.
It's a riveting story. It's really good. All right, we gotta go.
That baby is so cute. I think this looks like a video from like a couple years ago because his son is a little bit taller now, right? That is so, he's so cute here. I love babies. I was telling Gabe the other day to have baby fever. Gremlin has baby fever. Gremlin wants cute baby. I think I might not. I honestly, like 2 or 3 kids is kind of like where I want to be at. I don't think I'll have more than that. But who knows? God might be like, hey, you know how you said you only wanted 2 or 3 kids? Here's 5. Imagine I have like triplets and then I have twins. That would be insane. Think about it, Chad. Actually, don't think about it.
We gotta go. I gotta tell the internet about the guy I named you after, okay? You gotta go hang out with mom now. Today we're talking about the most gangster politician in American history. Ladies and gentlemen, Cassius Marcellus Clay, aka the Lion of Whitehall. Whitehall being his family home.
What the heck is a Whitehall? Dude, I'm so lost. I'm not a history nerd. I need help. Please enlighten me. Wise Duckman.
Home that he grew up in Kentucky as the son of one of the richest slave owners in all of America. While going to college at Yale to become a lawyer, he would attend a speech from a famous—
Well, I didn't expect us to talk about sons of slave owners. Okay, this is definitely gonna be a crazy one. 100% gonna be a crazy react.
abolitionist by the name of William Lloyd Garrison, and that—
Bro, what is up with his eyes? Hold on. I'm sorry pausing so much, but this is all bro's eyes. Is he okay?
speech would change the entire trajectory of Cassius Clay's life as well as American history. It is at that moment that Cassius Clay decided he was not only going to be quietly opposed to slavery, but that—
You know, you're right. Today's topic is racism and slavery, apparently. Goodness gracious.
he was actively going to fight against it. He would be set down the path to become the most influential abolitionist of all time. Oh god, forgot to do the ad. Hold on. Sorry for bothering the video. Real quick, this video is brought to you by the biggest sponsor of the channel and my favorite sporting goods store, Shields. They've got over 30 retail locations across the United
What the heck is a Shields? I mean, I guess he's from the Midwest, but what the heck is a Shields?
States, in an even better online store that I'm going to have linked down below. And if you use my code, you're going to get free shipping. They've got everything you could imagine there. This is where I got this shirt. It's where I got this backpack. All of it was on sale. It was a great deal. Again, use my code down below. You're going to get free shipping. Back to the video. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot to mention Muhammad Ali's original name was Cassius Clay. Yeah, he was actually named after this guy too. Anyways, back to the
No way, that's real. No freaking way, that's real, dude. Oh my gosh.
video. Bye-bye. If you don't know, at this point in time, there's basically 2 different camps you could fall into for being anti-slavery. You could be an abolitionist or an emancipationist. An emancipationist is somebody that wants to vote it out over time, over the next 5, 10, 20 years, versus an abolitionist, which is somebody that believes we need to end slavery right now, and they're willing to fight about it. And in the case of Cassius Clay, he was willing to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. You see, Cassius Clay wasn't just some nobody punk kid that went off to college and decided that he didn't like slavery. This was the son of one of the wealthiest slave owners in all of America. So for him to—
All right, chat. Are you an abolitionist or are you the other thing? Watch out, the feds are watching. They're watching your responses, chat. We better be careful.
come out and voice anti-slavery views was a huge deal, and it pissed off a lot of people. So, being that this was the 1820s, what do you do when you're pissed off? You challenge somebody to a duel. So needless to say, the young Cassius Clay found himself partaking in an awful lot of duels, and he never, ever lost. So, obviously, he's pretty good at it, and what do you do when you find something you're
you run.
pretty good at? You want to keep doing it, right? Right. So Cassius Clay starts challenging anyone and everyone to a duel that dares to oppose him. It became common knowledge in his community that Cassius Clay would be willing to fight the wind if it blew from the west and he wanted it to blow from the east. This man went on a dueling rampage, so much so that by the time he graduated college, he was considered to be the deadliest duelist in all of North America. This guy was putting slave owners in the dirt like he was Johnny Appleseed planting fucking trees. He became known
Oh my gosh. Like Johnny Appleseed. Dude, this guy, like, I know we're not like super like into the video yet, but holy smokes, this guy sounds crazy. I love him.
Known as the deadliest abolitionist of all time. So he graduates from college, goes back home as a lawyer. Shortly after that, his father passes away and leaves everything to Cassius Clay. Cassius Clay immediately frees all of his father's slaves.
Yo, super based Cassius Clay, dude. Hold on. Look, the the race virtue signalers will be happy to hear of this base man. I think we need to post this now. Be like, look, I know you're virtue signaling, but look at this base man here.
Himself $40,000, which is roughly $2 million today. And then he even gives some of the slaves land and money on top of it. Absolutely infuriating the pro-slavery people in Kentucky. So what do you do when half the local population hates your guts? You run for public office, and that's
and then you stick it to the man.
exactly what Cassius Clay did. He served in the Kentucky state legislature from 1835 to 1841 and then finally lost his re-election, to which the pro-slavery crowd breathed a huge sigh of relief because they finally defeated Cassius Clay, or so they thought. Clay immediately—
you can never beat the number one. You can't beat the man when the man is determined to beat you. You know, that sounded better in my head.
starts traveling the country, giving amazing anti-slavery speeches, winning over hearts and minds, and this absolutely infuriates the pro-slavery people because they don't know how to stop him. You can't legally stop a guy from talking to people that want to listen to him, and they can't legally kill Cassius Clay in a duel because he's the best duelist on earth. What do you do?
He's about to Kirito these people. He said, I'm about to duel you. Let me grab my swords. I'm gonna bro's about to do what is it, Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader. That's how OP he was, man.
You've got to illegally kill him. The problem with that is they can't find a hitman that's dumb enough to think that they can take out Cassius Clay, so they have to go to the one crevice of the planet where they can find somebody truly insane enough to think that they can do this job. And that man's name was Sam Brown, an assassin from New Orleans. 1834, Russell Cave, Kentucky. Cassius Clay's finishing up one of his world-famous speeches as he pulls out a burlap sack, reaches into the sack and pulls out a holy Bible and says, "For those of you that believe in the laws of God, I make to you this argument against slavery," sets the Bible on the table, reaches back in the sack, pulls out a copy of the U.S. Constitution, and says, "For those of you that believe in the laws of man, I present..."
Dude, bro said, I'm pulling out the Bible. Look, you don't need to pull out anything else. Get the Bible, just grab it, slam it right there. Absolute Giga Chad, man. I'm telling you, man, Christians, you can't play with them. You can't play with Christians, man. Well, maybe you can now in 2026, but like the Christians of old, different breed, absolute different breed.
To you this argument against slavery, sets the Constitution down on the table, drops a burlap sack to the ground and says, "For those of you that believe in neither the laws of God or man, I make to you this argument against slavery," as he pulls out both of his pistols and sets them on the table, which I think we can all agree.
He said, if you ain't believing God or the law, man, fight me right now. I'll give you the gun. Let's see if you win. Dang, dude, yo, this guy gangsta. I love him. Yo, can we bring this guy back? I think we can all learn a thing or two from this dude. Oh my gosh.
Is gangster as fuck. And at this moment, Sam Brown comes up on stage and shoots Cassius Clay point blank in the chest. Luckily, Cassius Clay never leaves home without his trusted Bowie knife, which resides inside of a metal sheath. And that metal sheath would catch Sam Brown's bullet, saving Cassius Clay's life. At which point, Cassius Clay would draw his Bowie knife.
Dude, he said, "You're not gonna take me out easy. You're gonna have to try hard. You're gonna have to shoot the bullet through the head. Not the heart, the head, if you want to get it to me." What a goat, man. Holy smokes, this guy's just built different.
And charged Sam Brown. 6 of Sam Brown's friends in the audience tried to stop Cassius Clay. He would fight his way through all 6 of them, making his way to Sam Brown, promptly stabbing him in the chest, and then turning him into a Mr. Potato Head by cutting off his nose, lopping off his ear, and gouging out one of his eyes. Then the 6 men recovered and were able to peel.
What? Wait, I need to run that back. Hold on, I need to run that back real fast.
Tried to stop Cassius Clay. He would fight his way through all 6 of them, making his way to Sam Brown, promptly stabbing him in the chest, and then turning him into a Mr. Potato Head by cutting off his nose, lopping off his ear, and gouging out one of his eyes. Then the 6 men recovered and were able to peel.
Holy smokes, dude. You guys heard that? Oh, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think you just gotta take me out of that point, because holy moly, what the heck? What a beast. Dude, wow.
Clay off of him. Not knowing what to do, knowing they couldn't stop Cassius Clay forever, they panicked, probably for fear that Cassius Clay was going to start shoving this guy's facial features up his ass next. They did the only thing they could come up with to get the two apart. They picked up their friend Sam Brown, threw him over a 7-foot-high stone wall. He fell down an embankment and into a creek bed to finally get Cassius Clay away from him. Somehow, Sam Brown survived, but not only was he lucky for that, he was also dumb as fuck because he then decided to take Cassius Clay to court because apparently after Cassius Clay stabbed him the first time, they were even on the whole assassination attempt thing, so Cassius Clay should go to prison for mayhem.
I mean, they went after the guy, and they messed with God, one of God's strongest soldiers, man. It did not work out.
So Cassius Clay calls upon his older cousin, one of the best lawyers on the planet that had never lost in open court with over 40 years of experience, Henry Clay. Henry Clay goes into court, and his entire defense for his cousin is, and I quote, "Your Honor, this is just standard behavior for a Kentuckian." And the judge is just like, "You're innocent. Free to go."
Yeah, like, this dude is fine. It is how it's supposed to be done here. Next.
That's it. Best court case ever. Literally walks in and just goes,
"I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America."
So after Cassius
Bruh, was that a South Park clip? Was that South Park?
Clay was found innocent, Henry Clay decides that he's going to run for president, and Cassius is going to help him campaign. Cassius is going to tour the country, giving speeches, saying, hey, you know, vote for my cousin. Here's the rule with that. Henry Clay told him he's only allowed to tour the northern states because he's actually legitimately concerned that if he sends Cassius to the south, he's going to...
I mean, if he sends him to the south, that's asking to get everyone to, like, come after him and basically put him up on a tree with that cute little rope, you know, that they use when people are dead. Anyway, how's everyone doing today? Yeah, this guy did not take anything from anyone. I'm really curious to know, despite you know, campaigning and stuff, if he actually still ended up going to the south. I'm really curious.
So many fucking slave owners and duels that it could be considered voter fraud. So Henry Clay ends up losing the presidential election, and Cassius moves on to his next life adventure, which is becoming an author and writing anti-slavery news articles. The problem with that was none of the newspapers were willing to publish him, so he says, fuck you, I'll start my own newspaper, The True American. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine,
actual G, man. He said, I don't need you. Look, even the journalists back then were a bunch of flowers, bunch of little flowers living on the walls, man. That's crazy. He was an entrepreneur. He said, if you don't want to help me, I will trailblaze my own path. And that's a real American right there, man.
Starting an anti-slavery newspaper in fucking Kentucky in 1845 was not very popular, and his business would receive death threats pretty much every day, some of which were written in blood. So Cassius Clay, in true Cassius Clay fashion, says, fuck it, I guess we're gonna fight about it. He then proceeds to up-armor his entire business and his printing office. He covers the entire front of the office in a large iron sheet. He installs several cannons down corridors, stocks the entire thing with loaded guns, and rigs it to explode. Here's the thing, he also...
Dude, okay, whoever you are, sir, I hope you are in God's glory, because, man, that is so awesome. Bro said, I am armored up, you cannot kill me. This is American 2A, baby. You ain't stopping me. We're going. Wonderful.
Doesn't expect his employees to fight to the death for him, so he installs an escape hatch and instructs them to escape if anything goes down, because he's gonna fight the entire mob by himself. How's he gonna do?
Holy smokes, dude. I know I'm pausing a lot, but this guy's such a freaking Chad. Imagine arming your house up to the wazoo. Say you're gonna go fight the mob. Bro's going, like, look, I don't care if they want to duel me to the end. I'm the best duelist there is. Bro grabs his Yu-Gi-Oh card. He's like, we're about to duel, you know, with his gun, his pistol, and boom. Like, do we have any heroes like this anymore? Because this guy's just way too base.
That, as soon as you walk in the only door to get into that printing office, you find yourself in a long, narrow corridor with iron on each side, just wide enough for a single man to get through. Cassius Clay is going to stand in that narrow corridor and fight the entire mob one man at a time. Literally the mentality of, if you have a problem, take a number, I'll kill you in a minute. This man recreated the entire Battle of fucking Thermopylae with 300 Spartans, except he's going to do it all by himself. If you think fucking with with John Wick's
He's a one-man army. Don't mess with them.
dog is a bad idea. The last thing you want to do is fuck with Cassius Clay's printing press, because this man is determined to defend the freedom of speech with the right to bear arms at any cost. Obviously, this escalates.
Oh, sir, how we need you now, because there's too many sheeple in the American populace who will not defend 2A rights. You know, especially the blue states, man. We're just cooked. We need another Cassius for sure in 2026, man. The hero we don't deserve.
To Cassius Clay defeating an entire mob single-handedly, right? Wrong. The mob, being full of, you know, super brave pro-slavery men that know they're doing the right thing, do the honorable brave thing and wait till Cassius Clay is bedridden with typhoid fever, so they know he isn't going to show up. They show up to his business at night and burn the place to the ground because they're a bunch of fucking bitches. Now, Cassius Clay recovers from typhoid fever. He reestablishes a newspaper in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is an anti-slavery stronghold. The only problem with that is, being an anti-slavery stronghold, there's not going to be any conflict, and that's fucking boring. So Cassius Clay moves on to another life adventure, volunteering in the Mexican-American War. While serving...
Listen, I'm bored. I'm going to go fight a war. Holy smokes. I hope he survived that. I really hope he did. Dude, this guy's living the whole adventure, you know. I think most people don't live this kind of adventure life. My gosh.
In the Mexican-American War, he would be a captain leading a group of Kentucky soldiers, and they would be captured pretty much immediately, and he would spend the duration of the entire war as a POW. While serving as a POW, some of the men under his command would escape, meaning that the Mexican military was then going to put the rest of his unit to death. Cassius Clay said, hey, don't kill my men, just kill me and my other fellow officers. We're the ones in charge. It's our fault that those men escaped. It's our responsibility. Please let the lower enlisted men go home. The Mexican military was so impressed by this that they decided to spare everyone, including Cassius.
What a Chad. Honor, dignity, pride, patriotism. We did not deserve Cassius Clay, and we definitely don't deserve a 2.0 now. Wow. Dude, I'm starstruck. I gotta make fan art of this guy. What an American patriot. Wow. God bless this man. Hope he's eternally with our Lord of this one,
and
man.
he would return home a war hero. Returning home from the war in 1848, he didn't really know what to do, so...
And we know what happens to all war heroes. They do not get treated very well usually. So I can imagine that they stabbed him in the back in the end.
He starts giving his famous speeches again, this time leveraging his newfound title as a war hero. So obviously it doesn't take long for him to piss everybody off. He faces yet another assassination attempt. This time 6 brothers from a wealthy slave-owning family show up, the Turner brothers. They show up with clubs and knives and guns, and they beat the living shit out of Cassius Clay with the clubs. They stabbed him multiple times. Cassius Clay whips out his trusted Bowie knife, starts opening up these brothers like they're fucking Amazon.
Dude, it's like it's written on the walls that because of how base he is, everyone's just going after him, and it's not even a surprise. Like, not even I'm assuming not even a couple months later, this guy, they're just coming after him as soon as he comes back from the Mexican-American War. Holy smokes, man. This is insanity. This guy, actual Chad, 100% man. Oh my goodness. I think I might be having a small crush on Cassius Clay here. Okay, I'm kidding. I love you, Gabe. Mwah.
Making his way to the lead brother and stabbing him an excessive amount of times. We don't know how many times, but we do know it was a lifetime supply. Killing the lead brother, ending the assassination attempt, Cassius Clay would fall to the ground, nearly dead, and this would be the closest anybody ever came to actually killing Cassius Clay. When he was asked about it later on in life, all he said was, I felt the utmost indignation, which translates to, I was fucking annoyed. This man almost died from an assassination attempt, and he has the same attitude towards it that I have towards fucking fruit flies, okay? This dude is so metal, he deserves his own spot on the periodic table of elements. Cassius Clay then makes a full recovery from his injuries, starts giving his speeches again. 1853, he donates a large chunk of his land to John Fee, who uses it to found Berea College, the first co-educational and multiracial college in the...
And he was a supporter of education. How many more W's before this man passes away? Wow, he survived through all of that. I don't think most people would be able to survive what Cassius Clay went through, and you know, maybe even keep their sanity. This guy, again, just wowed by this man.
South ever. Fast forward to 1860, Cassius Clay is giving speeches in Illinois where he meets a politician by the name of Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, I know the guy. I know Abraham Lincoln. You guys know who Abraham Lincoln is? You remember that guy?
And they get along great. Cassius Clay is then slotted to become Abraham Lincoln's vice president. However, he's a little bit too Cassius Clay to be an actual big name politician like that, so they give the job to Hannibal Hamlin, and Cassius Clay becomes the ambassador to Russia. 1861 rolls around, the Civil War breaks out. Cassius Clay is in Russia. Cassius Clay not only convinces Russia to not side with the Confederates, but he convinces Russia to tell Great Britain and France that if they so much as recognize the Confederacy, Russia will go to war with them. And this was a humongous step that nobody talks about in the winning of the Civil War. And it is 100% because of Cassius Clay. Fast forward to 1862.
Yeah, I don't think I remember my history teachers talking about Cassius Clay. As far as I remember, at least, it seems like he is kind of an unsung hero, and I can imagine because of his problematic past, he probably didn't get as much love as he should have.
Abraham Lincoln wants to appoint Clay a major general in the Union Army. Cassius Clay publicly refuses the President of the United States, saying that he's not going to do it until the President signs the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the slaves of the South.
What a king! What a freaking king, dude! Oh my gosh! This guy's like, if you don't do this, man, forget about it. Forget about it. You know.
Cassius Clay is literally the man that bullied Abraham Lincoln into prematurely signing the Emancipation Proclamation before he wanted to. And nobody talks about it. Fast forward again to 1865, the Union wins the Great American Scrimmage, the slaves are freed. Cassius Clay has achieved his lifelong goal at the age of 55, bringing an end to slavery in the United States of America. He then goes back to Russia again to serve as ambassador until 1869, and while he is there, he helps to broker the purchase of Alaska. This man is probably the most influential person in American history that you've never heard of. After returning home from Russia, Cassius Clay would live out the rest of his days in Whitehall until the age of 80 years old, where he would be declared clinically insane. In hindsight, most likely
I feel like that was people trying to, like, now that he's older and he doesn't have the same energy from from his early days, you can claim him to be clinically insane to get him out of the picture, which I'm assuming is what Electrician is going to talk about in a second here. But like, how can he live such a base life from 20 something to 80 something and then declare him clinically insane? Yeah, right. Load of baloney. They didn't like him. They wanted him expunged from history. I have a feeling that's what happened.
Due to a severe amount of PTSD, as well as potentially dementia. He didn't die from it. He lived on for quite a bit longer. He just picked up a new hobby of fucking with the local sheriff because he was crazy now. Over the course of the next decade.
I love how he words it that way. He was like, I'm bored again. Let me see what I can do. I can't do the same things I used to, but I'm gonna mess around with people still.
Clay and the sheriff would have multiple run-ins that would be concluded when the sheriff and 7 deputies were repelled from Whitehall when Clay utilized his home defense cannon that he had at the top of his stairwell.
What? He had a whole cannon? Yo, that's crazy, bro. Had a whole cannon on his stairwell. Look, I don't care if he had dementia, PTSD, or whatever. He was still based until the end of his life. I need a Celestium lurk emote. You're gonna get an emote, all right.
At that point, the local sheriff would inform the local judge he will not be returning to Whitehall to tangle with Cassius Clay anymore unless the judge was willing to dispatch an entire company of the local militia to accommodate him. Then in 1900, 2 men would break into Whitehall, and Cassius Clay at the age of 89 would manage to kill both of them, one by gunshot and one, yet again, with his trusted Bowie knife. Then in 1903, at the age of 92, Cassius Clay would die of natural causes, or as they called it back then, general exhaustion, which is the most gangster way on the planet to go out. Literally just, I'm tired now, peace. And then he left.
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
In conclusion, when it comes to—
What show was that from? Look, I'm just glad the man got to live out his life in the craziest fashion. Totally amazing.
The famous historical household names, there's always another man or woman lurking behind the scenes in the shadows that's deemed too rough around the edges to be in the spotlight, yet they contribute just as much, if not more, to the movement. These men and women are willing to do horrific things for terrific reasons. And when it came to Abraham Lincoln and the abolition of slavery, that man's name was Cassius Marcellus Clay, the most gangster politician in American history. Thanks for watching the video. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
Well, that was crazy. Absolute banger of a watch. Dude said I'm gonna live life to the fullest and you ain't gonna stop me. Someone please bring this man back so that we can fix America, please. Please. I am just, my brain exploded. That was wonderful. This is actually one of my favorite videos now from Fat Electrician. We do not need a crusade. We just need someone crazy like him. All right, so that was great. I do think that we don't have many people like that anymore, and I think even if you try to, there's just way too many people that you're gonna need to fight against, because you're not just fighting against like the government, it's also you know, the useful idiots, as they call them in our country. So Godspeed if you want to try to be Mr. Cassius Clay here. Oh my gosh, dude, that was great. I love it.